Hello everybody, my name is Eric Mullins, and today we're going to be talking about Band-Aid on my nose. Actually, the reason I have this Band-Aid is to stop all the blood from gushing out my This is a figure made by Kuro Matheus. She's a 1/7 from the game Wuthering Waves, also made by Kuro. And this is the Shorekeeper. That name suits her well. For real, this is a pretty incredible figure, especially at her price point. All sorts of ups, very few downs. It's smoky gray, transparent, circular, with a couple of ripple effects. There's this massive chunk of plastic underneath that has the Wuthering Waves logo, Kuro Games on there, and it holds this blackshores flower exceptionally well. Due to the fact that it's transparent, you can always put it on top of something that's glowing, and it will really make this figure pop and highlight within a shelf. The flower is a dark transparency with some silver highlights and gradients, while we have this lovely metallic purple going through the center. This base isn't the most hardcore elaborate one I've ever seen, but it is extremely space efficient, and it does an excellent job at elevating the entire figure to make her really come off as elegant and higher end. Her toes have glossy nail polish on them. They look decently sculpted. Nothing here looks weird or off-putting, just your regular feet. In the initial artwork, she actually had shoes on, and I flipping love those shoes. But I kind of talk about that during my first impressions video, so if you'd like to see the unboxing for this beautiful figure, be sure to check out the link in the description down below. These feet go into very slender ankles that continues that elegance all the way up into her thighs. These legs look very beautiful. The sculpt work on it is decently smooth. We get a light pearlization covering her skin and very faint printed line art designs, similar to the gorgeous illustration. Her behind is exceptionally well sculpted, where she's got a pair of bloomers on. They don't seem as skin tight as in the video game, but I find they still come off as quite spicy and they look cute. Shorekeeper's entire design really does walk that balance between very spicy and very adorable. Not to mention she's got an excellent personality, and of all the story— Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll talk more about this at the end of the video. The bloomers have some colder shading, and we even get a couple of warmer highlights here and there. The first layer of her dress is a iridescent blue transparent plastic. Usually I find that this kind of material can look cheap on a figure. On her, it looks excellent. And up around her hips over here, you can see that if you like this video just a little bit, it doesn't cost much to hit that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. It goes a crazy long way at helping out my channel, as well as comments. If there's something I forget to go over and you got questions, be sure to write it down in the comment section. She has her two silver butterflies on each hip, and these are done with a warmer silver slowly gradiating into a colder one at the center. Moving along to her backside, lovely petals, beautiful shading on them, and then we get this dark, slowly fading into lighter plastic. And this is really, really expertly done on a level that I've not seen in a long time on a figure, especially not a budget figure like this. I can't believe— Opaque electric blue gradient that slowly fades into the transparent grays with speckles, giving you that star effect. And we have the same thing with the flowing out tassels underneath, and the design gives off butterfly, but the design was created in the game. It's just that they really executed it well on this figure. It's impressive, like flipping crazy. Just to give you a quick comparison, here's Kotobukiya's Unicorn Overlord's Eltalind. I really love the character in the game. I was very excited for this figure, and this figure is really hit or miss a little bit all over. It's wild to think that this figure is roughly double the price point to Shorekeeper over here, and she's just so well done. There's this big, thick bow here that all kind of folds out into multiple kerfuffles. We got the black flower in the center, excellent callback to what she's standing on. And I would say that this thing could definitely use a bit more polishing in the shading department, but due to how these sculpted on silver bands, not printed, kind of fold in on one another, it gives you the illusion from a distance that it's really well folded up together. Look at me like grasping for straws here to be able to be more objective on this review. Her back has a really sharp curve to it, and here's where we see some excellent play with very faint paintwork. Because the Shorekeeper isn't just completely nude, she has a very thin white material that she has in which is grafted to her body. She is a genoid after all. Robot girl. The silver line work we get here is excellent. We actually have some muscle definition for her spine and shoulder blades, and blue transparent plastic that actually has a white opaque gradient going from the inside outwards. Even on the small details, this figure is just kicking ass. Like, what the hell? Kuro, Oh my gosh, Eric. Okay, I'll get more of that in my final thoughts at the end of the review. Along the front, these tassels, done with a pearlescent, somewhat iridescent design. We get a little bit of shading on them, some stretches and pulls in the fabric as they go up into her chest. Her chest is beautifully sculpted. It's not done too over the top like some figure companies have done. It's very accurate to the illustration. I don't mind over the top. I just really appreciate accuracy. We're down the center of her core. You have this lovely tacet mark, and this is something where this figure has all sorts of clear plastics around her. I'm sure they probably thought about it, and they might have even tested it out and see if it worked or not. They did not hold back on the budget when making her. This thing should have been a clear electric metallic blue. That would have really looked cool. Instead, it's painted on metallics, and it's okay. From a shelf, it looks fantastic. It's just, I'm greedy. After getting everything, I'm still wanting more. Her arms look pretty good, properly shaped. We get some nice bicep jewelry with a silver lace that goes all the way up into her hands. The hands have cute little butterflies similar to the ones on her hips. And I'd say the shaping of the fingers are pretty good, where we have a bit of nail polish similar to what we have on her toes. Her left hand is sporting this beautiful, clear transparent with a couple of silver printed details on it, butterfly, and I believe this is what she uses to spy on people in the game. Spy? Sorry, I meant keep an eye out on them, for protection reasons. Shorekeeper's the best. I am part of the fan club after all. She has a lovely collar around her neck, which is long and elegant, and directly molded into her face. Wow! There's a lot of companies out there that could never do this with such accuracy or finesse. Nothing here looks weird. It all looks perfect. Her lips get a little bit of glossy pink to them. Her nose is perfect and really resembles that of the character, where we go up into her stoic, emotional, melancholic eyes. And these eyes are fantastic. Nice print on them. Personally, I would have liked it to be in gloss, but the eyelashes, I'm really freaking out over this figure. It's just, even if she was a higher end figure and this is what I got, I'd be extremely happy with her. It's pretty awesome. The eyelashes are three-dimensional. They actually pop out of her face like real eyelashes. This isn't something I like to see on every single kind of anime figure. I really do like the decals. I think it feels more like an anime or a video game, something that's two-dimensional, and I love art styles. But it's cool to get a bit of variety every now and then, and the fact that the Shorekeeper's eyelashes are literally shooting out of her head, they're done in a lovely blue that's painted over a black, just to make them pop a little more, is incredible. Her eyebrows are just decals, where then we go into her flowing all over the place hair. There's a couple of seam lines you can see from the mold, but it's really not that apparent, and the way they come downwards and follow the hair almost makes it feel more like strands as opposed to seam lines. They put beautiful highlights and shading where it should be, so this way different strands pop out just a little bit more, and it keeps it separated from her veil. The few strands that you do see that are plugged in here or there are underneath everything else. That gives us a nice layering effect and doesn't come off as cheap or just two pieces glued into one another. I hate when anime figures do that so much. It's 2026. So many sculptors have figured out how to hide this sort of thing, especially on lower end figures like this, so I feel like there's no excuse on higher end figures at this point. The veil is gorgeous like the rest of this figure, where we have all sorts of gradients and shading in the plastic, a couple of highlights on her white side, with all sorts of butterflies similar to the ones she has on her hip. Underneath the veil, they went through the extra work of putting more transparent blue gradient plastics and little speckles to give off that star or spatial effect. Upon her release, she was going for 9,400 yen. What is this, 2006? Yes, if you're on the fence about getting her or not, don't be. Get her. Try and find her any way you can while she's still available. If I had to pay a premium on this figure, I'd probably go up to maybe 13 to 14,000 yen. But with the amount of love, care, and details that are put into this figure, I would say she's worth even more than that. Depending on when you're watching this video, try and get her for a deal. She's still 9,400 yen on release. Comparing her to a recent budget figure that I just gotten. By the way, if ever I mention figures and I show little pictures of them, all of the links are in the description down below. This is not fair, and she cost about 2,000 yen more. Putting her up to a somewhat older budget figure that came out quite a few years back, this is starting to feel a little more similar with what you're getting for that price point. But if Rei over here was released today by Kotobukiya, I guarantee you they'd slap on a 16,000 yen price tag on her easy. Having her next to a Nikkei figure that's roughly double the price is rough. Of course, this figure is more polished in certain aspects. Now, putting her in direct view next to a really high-end figure, I think she still holds up. This clearly is intense, and at her price point, I think she's absolutely worth it. I'm a huge fan of Perseus, and they really... gosh, this figure really knocked it out of the park. So did Kuro. And having these two next to each other on a shelf, I don't feel like she looks like a budget figure, and she doesn't make her look bad either. They're both equally near perfection. Perseus's perfection came with quite a significantly higher price point. And lastly, I'm going to put her next to Zenless Zone Zero's Anby. This figure is extremely well made. All of the paint work, the sculpt work, everything very well polished. But the point I'm trying to make is that this figure, for what you're getting, is worth easily double the price. It's crazy how much they put into this. When I showed this to my wife, her first thought was fast fashion. If you're getting this for this cheap and it's this impressive, someone or something out there is paying for it. She brought the fact that it's possible that the materials used on her might be not the most safest. Who knows? Maybe the people that actually worked on it aren't really getting paid what they're worth. Or then again, maybe Kuro just bought their own anime figure company and decided to eat some of the costs in order for the customers to get something really impressive as their first standalone Weathering Waves figure. And knowing Kuro and how they work so hard on Weathering Waves, I like to think it's the latter. And think about it, if you want to get multiple constellations of this girl in the game, just look at all those YouTubers out there. Saint Totes, Tectone, Mtashed. There's so many of these awesome YouTubers that you saw go through the grind in pumping up these characters with so many funds, and to think that you could get the actual statue, a physical item that you could look at every single day of this character for the price of maybe pulling her just once. If you fail that 50-50, now you're paying 2 times what you would pay for her. That's wild. Pre-ordered Kuro's Changli figure as well. I'm looking extremely forward to that one. And even that figure looks like she was priced a little low in comparison to what you're getting. But I suppose we'll see when I get it. Hopefully my video today helped you decide what side of the fence you're on and getting her or not. For real. You should get her. It's so rare that I push figures like this, but if you got 9,400 yen just lying around, Kuro is just such a goat company. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I have her placed next to my computer while I'm working, and for real, every time I look at it, I just want to play the game so badly. Uninstalled it right after finishing the entire storyline for the second continent, and it's just because I don't have time. I realized I was investing so much time into playing that game, unlocking as much as I can and going through the stories, and it's just, I write, illustrate, and self-publish my own manga. It's called Blithe, and because I do everything on my own, I just don't have the time to be able to play a lot of video games. I miss it. So getting all this cool anime merch and figures from games that I truly loved back in the day, or even would try playing every now and then, really helps soften the blow while I work myself to death.